Hi everyone, welcome to Northern Zen Yoga. My name is Sandra, and today we're going to have a very special practice. We're going to be working on our balance. Balance is very important, especially after we get past the age of 50. The reason for that is that at least 1 in 5 people who suffer a hip fracture will die shortly after that, from all kinds of complications that can happen as a result of having a hip fracture. When we're young, we bounce back very easily. But when we get older, we tend to have a longer period of time to recuperate from things like broken bones, and particularly a hip bone will immobilize you and keep you bedridden for a very long time. Now, because of this, you may suffer from blood clots or pneumonia, and there's a whole other bunch of medical things and complications that can happen as a result. So when you practice your balance, you're helping yourself to keep yourself from falling, or at least be able to recuperate from a loss of balance so that you do not fall at all. Now, balance takes time. Just like everything else that we learn in yoga, it takes practice. And because it takes practice, we need a very special tool. So you're going to need to move your mat to a place where you can watch this video and have a wall beside you. Or you can watch the video now and then move yourself to a wall and practice some of the moves that I've shown you with a wall. I do not want you to start practicing these balance postures without some kind of support, like a wall, at the very least a chair, so that you have a place that you can use to help counterbalance you when you need to, until you get used to these postures and you start to build a bit of confidence and you start to build up your ability to hold the posture longer in the balanced position. The other thing I want to point out is that each side of our body is a little bit different. Probably you've heard me say that before. So one side of your body is going to be a lot better at balancing than the other. It's usually your dominant side that has the easier time balancing. So working on the other side of your body, the one that doesn't balance as well, is critically important. So don't just practice on the side that you can do stuff with very easily. Make sure you're practicing on the other side so that you can get that side ready, so that if you happen to fall, you'll be able to counterbalance and correct yourself and keep yourself from falling and injuring yourself seriously. So you're going to need a block, you're going to need your mat, and you're going to need a wall. So if you want to stop the video and go and get those things right now, fantastic. I'll wait here for you. So we're back. We're going to begin by just warming up the body like we normally would during a yoga practice. So let's begin by sitting in Sukhasana. Sukhasana is our easy pose. We're going to sit here quietly for just a moment and focus on our breathing. And I apologize if this video is a little darker than most. It's unfortunately the place in my home where I had the biggest wall that I could use. And because of the fact that we're all kind of housebound these days, during the time of this video anyway, I'm making do with what we got, and I hope you just bear with me. So we're sitting in Sukhasana, getting ready to take a few of those first breaths in and out. Close your eyes if you like, or at least let your eyes become soft. Just don't try to control anything yet. Just start to focus on your breath, breathing in and breathing out. Deepen the breath now, breathing into the belly, in through the nose. And when you exhale, exhaling through the nose, pushing all the air out, pushing your belly up. Inhale and exhale. Follow your breath, inhaling and exhaling. And try to lengthen those breaths so that you're not breathing too quickly. Slowing things down now. And perhaps in your mind you might want to start to form an intention for this practice. Make it positive, make it in the present. I'm strong, I'm flexible, I'm balanced. And we'll begin with a little spine stretch. Let's inhale the arms up toward the ceiling and slowly exhale them down, following your breath. And make sure you're not speeding up your movement because your breath is fast. Make sure you're slowing down your movement, slowing it down with your slow, deep breaths. Inhale up and exhaling down. Once more, we'll inhale up, stretching up, reaching up. Try not to squeeze your shoulders up, just reach up through the fingertips. And this time on the exhale, we'll just take a side bend over to the right side. Inhale coming up. And exhale to the other side. Inhale up. Once more on each side. And we're going to twist this time on our inhale, stretch up, and on the exhale, just twisting the shoulders, keeping your belly forward, that's important, and pushing the right shoulder back toward your wall. And you can look over your shoulder if you like, if your neck allows. If you're not able to go very far, or you're just not able to turn your head right now at all, just go as far as you can where you feel a nice stretch, but no pain. Pain is never a place we go to in yoga. Let's come back to center. We always want to find that achy stretch. Now we're going the other way now, but never pain. So pushing the left shoulder back, keeping your belly forward. Making sure that that twist is happening in your rib cage area, the top of your spine, and not down in your waistline. Again, you can turn your head looking toward that shoulder as far as your head will allow you to go today. Let's come back to center. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, let's bow to the earth. Take a nice bow down, coming down with your belly toward the floor. Just walk your hands out. Come down as deeply as you can. Letting your body sink. Sinking deeper. You can rock in between your hip joints here, side to side. Just helping to loosen up those legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Just get heavy again in the belly area. See if you can sink down onto your elbows. Then we're going to come up onto our fingertips, and we're just going to walk our fingers over toward the right side. Giving a nice stretch to the side. Stay nice and low though. Don't try lifting up in order to get over farther. Just go as far as you can. You'll feel it. And come slowly back all the way over to the other side. Usually you feel the stretch right up in here. We'll come back to center. Staying up on our fingertips, let's take a deep breath in. Exhale, let's push our belly down and our head toward the floor. And then walking our hands back toward the body to help to lift the body up. Let's come back up. Getting back up onto your cushion if you're using a cushion. Inhale the arms up. Exhale. Let's bring them behind us, pressing shoulder blades toward each other. Your fingers should be pressing down into your cushion or onto your floor, and you're going to turn your fingers so that they're toward your bottom. And if you can press your whole palm down, fantastic. I can't particularly. I can get some of it down. I can go on my knuckles and pull those shoulder blades in toward each other. So we're curling the spine toward the shoulder blades. Inhale. Lift up the rib cage. Exhale, relax your head back and push down into the floor with your fingertips or your knuckles or your palms. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Release. Inhale up. Exhale, palms pressing together, coming into Namaste. Keep pressing those palms together. If you have to stop here because your hands start to come apart, this is where you stay until you can move them down a little further and keep palms pressed together. If you're pressing your palms together and you're doing this the way I am right now, you're probably feeling a muscle stretch at the top of your shoulders. And that area right in here is called your rotator cuff. And so that is a very good place to start to just put a little more strength in, a little more stretchability in there. So if you're feeling it, that's good. But if you're feeling it too much way up here and your hands are coming apart, just stay here and work your way slowly, slowly. I was way up here once. As a matter of fact, there was a point where I had a hard time pressing my palms together at all. And now you can see that I'm way down in here. And that just takes time and practice. Take a few deep breaths here. And then we're going to shake out our wrists. And we're going to switch our feet. So look down and take the foot that's in the front, move it back, and bring the one that's in the back forward. And we're just going to do that last couple of stretches again. So we're inhaling up, exhale, bow to the earth. Bring your hands down, walk your hands away from you, letting your belly get heavy, dropping down. And again, you can rock into the hips. Rocking back and forth helps to relax your hips and open them up a little bit. It also gets a little bit of movement in the low part of your back, where it joins up with your sacrum, pelvic area. Come up onto your fingertips. We'll walk our hands over to the right as far as we can go without coming up. Take a few breaths here. And then we slowly start to walk ourselves all the way across as far as we can go to the other side. Staying nice and low. Trying to keep both cheeks on the mat or on your pillow. And come back to center. Staying up on our fingertips, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring your chest, your belly, your head down toward the floor. And then walking your hands back toward the body. Sit off your pillow, come back up. Inhale, all the way up, reaching up. Exhale, bring the shoulders toward each other, hands behind your back, fingertips toward you. And again, whatever way you can press into the cushion or the floor, by your palms, by your fingertips, by your knuckles. Squeeze those shoulders together. You want to feel a nice stretch in the front of the chest. What happens is when we are, and you can keep holding it, when we start to get older, we start to collapse in like this. So this stretch is going to help you to keep these muscles here nice and stretched, and all of your rib cage in the front stretched, so that we don't start to curl in. Take a deep breath in, push into the floor, lift up your rib cage, exhale your head back, opening up your throat chakra, and breathe a couple of long, slow, deep breaths. And release. Inhale the arms up, palms together. Let's come back to Namaste and see if you go a little deeper this time. Close your eyes for just a moment. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. And shake out your hands. So we're just going to warm up the joints in our legs. So we're just going to do some foot curls, rotating the ankle, starting with the right leg. And then we're going to move up to the knee. And then we're going to stop. And we're going to rotate the ankle the opposite way. Try to remember which way that was. And then we're going to come up to the knee and go the opposite way. And then we're going to come up into the hip joint. We're just going to get some movement happening up here. So you're just lifting your knee up, moving it over to the side, bring it into the center. Just get a little bit of fluid moving in there. And relax your leg down. Let's try the other side. Just start to turn your foot by the ankle. Nice circle. And then we'll start with the knee. And then come back. And let's go the opposite way that we did the last time. Think about that. Take your time too. If you're particularly tight in your joints, take your time. Don't have to go as quickly as I'm going right now. Just go around as slowly as you can, getting those joints moving. And then we're going to move the knee in the opposite way. And then we're going to move up to the hip joint. Start moving that hip around. Bringing it in, across, and back. And then we're going to come back to the other side, and we're going to go the opposite way we did the last time. And we're going to switch, doing the opposite that we did the last time. And just shake your legs out. We're just going to do some point back and forth with the feet. Stretch out our hamstrings a little bit. So pulling the toes in, inhale, exhale, push them out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Let's do opposite feet now. Opposite toes going opposite directions. And just shake the legs out again. So let's come on to our first balancing position. So if you have a pillow, a bolster, and especially I've asked you to get a block. If you don't have a block, you can use a small chair or a stool to do this. It's not quite as effective, but it will work. So we have our block here, and the first balance we're going to do is one that you probably see me do quite a bit of times. Is called cat stretch. So we come onto all fours, and we're going to begin with our right hand and our left leg. So if you are able to, and I'm just going to move the block over here just for a second, you're going to stretch out the right hand, stretch out the left leg, and find a point of balance here. So for me, it's not very difficult, but for you, you might feel yourself wobbling a lot. This is where you can put your hand out on the block. So the block becomes a helper to help you balance. Pick up your hand off the block, drop it back down. Try to find just a few seconds of balance here. And then we're going to stop and we're going to switch sides. So you may need to move your block over. Left hand this time, right leg. So stretching it out, stretch it out, stretch it out. And if you need to, just drop down and just catch that block just to keep you from doing one of these things. Okay? And release. Let's try that one more time on both sides. Right hand, left leg. Now, key to this is to stretch out those muscles. Push your heel away from you. Reach your fingertips out to the point that they are grasping for something out there. And release. Switch to the other side. And release. And come back into your seated position. Take a few breaths here. And now we're going to come up to a standing position. So tuck your toes underneath you, push your feet into the ground, come up into a forward fold. Knees are slightly bent here. Just relax. And then pressing into your thighs if you need to. You're going to bring yourself upright, nice and straight. And we're going to think about this wall now. So if you haven't got yourself to the wall yet, make sure you're next to the wall. your mat along the edge of the wall like I have right here. So our first posture is going to be one that you see used all the time. It's called tree pose. So tree pose looks a little bit like a figure 4. So your foot can be here, just resting toe against your calf area here. Or it can be here, whoops. Or it can be way up here. I always have a problem with this because my feet always slide right off of my pants, and I don't do a very good job of it way up there. So what's more important than getting your leg way up into your groin is to get your knee out to the side. So some of you may be doing this. I'm just going to show you sideways. And that's a good start. But what you want is this, so that you can see that my leg is completely over to the side, and that I'm below my knee, not on my knee. That is one of the things you need to be very careful about, is that you're never going to put pressure on your knee joint at all. You're either above your knee or below your knee, but you're never pressing into your knee from the side or in front. So why do I have the wall? Well, here's a very important thing. You might be able to stand like this and find your balance here, and that feels like it's okay, but as soon as you start to lift your foot off, you start to wobble and wiggle. So here's where the wall becomes your friend. One finger on the wall. So we take one finger to the wall, and all of a sudden, we're able to balance things a little bit better. So fingertip on the wall, a couple of fingers on the wall, and just wait, find a spot ahead of you, up a little bit higher, stare at it, and then take your hand away. See how you do. You can always come back. And find your balance here. So what happens to your body while you're trying to balance? You're going to feel muscles pulling and twitching. You're going to feel your body vibrating a little bit, especially your legs, where they're trying to control the muscles to find the optimum place to balance your body. So all of those movements, they're completely normal. And it's also completely normal to try to be doing your balance postures with people watching you and not be able to do it as well. Because this kind of balance takes a little bit of focus when you're practicing it. So try to do this when you don't have a lot of people around you interrupting you. So we're going to start the other side now. Put your fingertip on the wall if you need to, and we're going to bring this foot up. So we're starting in this position, and then we can come up to this position, and then we can come up a little higher and start pulling that knee out. And if you're really good at this, you can bring your heel up toward your groin, above your knee. But otherwise, don't go up there until you've got this position perfected. The knee out has to happen before you can bring the leg above the knee joint. Okay? So, remember that so you can practice that at home. The next one we're going to do is going to be a little bit more difficult, and you might need a strap for this. So if you'd like to go and get your strap, you can stop this right now. Go find your strap and bring it back, because you're going to need to be able to grab your foot. So I'm going to begin with my right foot down, and I'm going to grab my ankle, or just around my foot here. And this is called dancer pose. So again, dancer pose, here's the wall. And I'm going to tip down, tip down, tip down. And I'm bringing my leg out. And I'm using the wall to help me balance here. But as much as I'm using the wall for balance, every once in a while I push against the wall and just release my pressure against the wall, just to see if I can keep that posture just a little bit longer. And there's dancer pose. It looks really hard, doesn't it? But with your wall, you'll be able to do it. long as you can get some way to grab up onto that foot. Now here's the key. When you want to start tipping forward so that your body is now moving in a forward direction, your leg is going to want to press away from you. And you're going to use your hand to pull it back. So there's going to be this action of push and pull. And that's what will help you to balance. So let's try it again. Plant this foot down. Whatever way you can to grab the back of this foot or to hold on to it with your strap or with your hand. You're going to find your point of balance first. Your wall is here, so you have your fingers. You can just touch against the wall to help you. You're going to be looking ahead of you and slightly above you. And then we're going to start to tip. And as your leg wants to push away, you pull against it with your hand. And slowly come out. You can also do this one with a partner. By using your partner's shoulder, your partner can do the position the same time as you, or you can have them just be there and just rest your hand against them as you tip forward. Let's switch to the other side now. So this side, we're going to grab our foot and we're slowly just using the wall just to keep us from falling down. Fingertips into the wall. Push, push, push. Look slightly above you. Don't look at the floor. And release. So you can see I can do it better on one side than the other side, and that's quite normal. You just need to practice this. No judgment. Just find a place where you can balance yourself for a few brief seconds, and you're on your way to working on a perfect balance. So the next one we're going to do is a little bit of fun. And it might be a bit challenging. The wall is a beautiful place to learn to do a lot of postures, including some of our warrior poses, which we'll do that another time. But today I'm going to teach you one that's called the half moon pose. So we have our wall here. This is for us to lean against to help us to perfect our half moon pose. So, right foot is planted. We have our block, and we're going to bring our block down just maybe about a foot out from our foot or toes. 10 inches to a foot. It depends on how long your torso is, because we want to have our shoulder basically over top of the block so that our arm goes down straight. So I'm going to lean down and I'm going to put my fingertips onto the block. And then I'm going to take this hip and I'm going to lift this hip up and I'm going to try to get both of my bum cheeks touching the wall. And here, then I can raise my arm up and you can see I can come into this lovely balancing pose. Now if I want, I can just slightly push myself away from the wall, find my balance, and I'll lean back against it, push away, find my balance. And what will always happen is you'll always go back and you'll hit the wall and the wall will stop you from falling. So don't be afraid of this posture. Have fun with it. The only thing you might find is that you might have a hard time getting over to find that block. If you have the block too close to your foot, it's going to throw you off. And if you have it too far away, you're going to be reaching too far. So find the spot where it feels like it's directly below your shoulder so your arm is pretty much straight coming down. Let's try it on the other side. So we've got our foot planted. Toes are generally pointed in the direction at the front of your mat, but it doesn't have to be. It could be slightly turned in, slightly turned out. It depends on your ankle. I'm going to drop the block down here, just find the spot. And I'm going to reach for my block. I'm going to lift up this hip. Find my cheeks against the wall. And I'm going to try to push away, find my balance. And again, this side I always find it harder to do than the other side, so that's pretty much, everybody has the experience of. Here I am balancing no wall. And come back up. Practice these things. They're great. They will help you to build confidence, to to build balance. Okay, we're back on our mat now, and we're ready to close our class off. So let's just take a few moments just to stretch a few of these muscles we've been tensing and tightening up. And we're going to do just a few leg stretches. So let's bring our right leg out in front of us. Left leg is tucked in wherever you can. And if you need to, you can put blankets and things like that down in here just to help keep you a little more comfortable. Take a deep breath in, and remember we're bringing belly to thigh, not head anywhere. Inhale, if you like you can stretch it up. Exhale, just bring your belly down, chin up until you get into position. Take a deep breath in again. Exhale, sink down a little deeper. Inhale, exhale, relax down just a little more. You want to feel a nice stretch happening in the back of your leg. If you're not feeling too much, you can flex your foot toward you. This will help to increase that stretch. And slowly coming up. Shake your leg out. Let's switch sides. Stretching this leg out now. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Bringing your chest and your head down. Take another inhale. Just let yourself go here. One more deep, deep, deep inhale. Exhale. Try to sink down a little more. And again, if you're not feeling too much stretch in the back of your leg, you can flex your foot. And slowly coming back up. Shake your leg out. Reposition yourself. Let's bring our feet together into cobbler position. So we always have space between our body and our heels. That's the space where our belly goes. So let's take a deep breath in. Exhale. Rock forward on your sit bones, bringing your chest out, your belly down, and relax down in between those thighs, walking your hands away if you need to. Feeling a nice stretch right in here. Take another deep breath in. Exhale. Just let yourself sink down a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. And slowly using your hands if you need to push into your thighs, pushing you back up. Bring your knees up, help them up. Stretch your legs out, shake them out. And now I want you just to relax back onto your mat, getting ready for Savasana. Take your time. When you get down there, bring your knees up into your chest and rock on your back, rocking side to side. Feel that beautiful stretch in your back. Getting yourself nice and soft, softening down your back. And we're going to keep our knees up. We're going to take an inhale. And on the exhale, we'll just drop our knees over to the left. And you can use a block if your knees won't hit the floor. Keep both shoulders touching down. Stretch your arms out. Take a deep breath in. Let it go through your mouth. Let your body relax. You can look over at your right hand if you like, helping to stretch your neck a little more. You can roll right onto that other hip if you like, but your shoulders must be in contact with the mat. So if your shoulder's coming up, in order for you to go over further, just stay where you're able to go as far as you can before your shoulder comes up, because that's where the stretch is happening. Inhale, bringing the knees back up to your chest, and on the exhale, let's just drop them over to the other side. Same rule applies. Now here, you see, my knees don't quite make it together on this side, so sometimes you can put a block here if you like. because it's more important to keep the shoulder down than it is to keep the knees together. Or if you want your knees together, you can put the block here. And this time we can gaze at the left hand while our knees are pointing right. Inhale, bring your knees back up to center. You can rock on your back a little more again. And now we're going to stretch ourselves out for Savasana. So get yourself very comfortable. Make sure you spread your legs out a little bit so that your ankles can relax. Spread your arms out if you like. Take up lots of space. Deep breath in. And now we're going to let it go through the mouth. Every breath we exhale, feel your body relax more. And while you deeply breathe and get more relaxed, I'm going to come back up into a seated position so I can guide you in your Savasana meditation. Let's grab my pillow here. Keep breathing those nice deep breaths. Let everything begin to melt. Let your body relax. Let your muscles relax. Let your breath relax now. Don't try to control it. Take one more deep breath in through the nose. Releasing it through your mouth. Let your jaw relax now. Let everything relax. Feel your body begin to float, rocking gently. Imagine yourself floating on a beautiful raft, golden light. Floating along. And your raft floats off into a beautiful lagoon. A canopy of trees bows over the lagoon, starting to block out the light. You're rocking, gently moving with the waves. And sounds in the forest, sounds of the jungle, you can hear those sounds softly. And you float slowly over to a place where the sun is just peeking through, illuminating the surface of the water. And as you move into that place, you feel the warmth of the sun on your face. You feel the light begin to permeate you, setting everything aglow. And then slowly you float away from the light and you start to move back as the current takes you away away from the lagoon and back to where you are now. Slowly begin to bring awareness back to your body. If you like, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes, waking up the body again. Bring your knees up towards your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Just rock gently side to side until finally you rock right over to one side, whatever side feels natural. Just slowly rock over and just rest there for a few more breaths. Don't rush this part. Allow your eyes to start to float open if they're still closed, and just become more aware of your surroundings. But don't lose touch with the feeling that you're feeling right now inside you. A relaxed feeling. Maybe you feel a few little nigs and nags in there, but generally you're feeling very, very calm and very good. And then slowly make your way back up to a seated position. Close our class today by chanting one beautiful Om. So with the Om, just do it with your breath. We're going to take an inhale first, exhale completely, and then we'll take an inhale for Om. So inhaling, exhale, inhale for Om. Om. Rub your hands together, feeling your energy, your prana, or your chi, whatever you want to call it. And as you do this, think of the places inside you that you can feel this moment that feel like they need a little healing energy. Close your eyes, place your palms over your closed eyes, and when you open them, breathe it in. Sending it right to that spot. Exhale, palms to ceiling, sending it back out to the universe. Scoop up just a little bit and bring it back to heart center. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this practice. I apologize again for the surroundings and the weird light that keeps going on and off. That's just the sunlight out there. And I also apologize for my hair. I mean, as we're being quarantined in our homes, we can't go out and get our hair did. So that is what it is. And hopefully soon we'll be back to normal, and I'll be able to get back to a space that is more yoga studio than living room studio. And I'm looking forward to that day. And in the meantime, if you enjoyed this practice and all of the practice that I have for you, please press subscribe and like this and share it with your friends. Thank you so much. From Northern Zen Yoga to you, namaste. Bye for now.